Hi, it's Sunil Tulsiani, founder of Private Investment Club. I'm doing another interview in regards to the expert series that we're doing during this coronavirus. And this gentleman that is here right now, he's a good friend. He's a real estate investor. He's been doing real estate investing for many, many years. And today we're going to talk about how he's handling coronavirus time, staying at home, the real estate investment. He is a member of Private Investment Club. He is a part of my mentoring program. He's also, I consider to be one of my good friends. It is none other than Mike Burgess. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sunil. It's an honor to be here today.
You're very welcome. Mike, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, I guess most recently, I'm excited to be a recent grandfather. 2 weeks ago,
Congratulations.
My baby daughter gave birth to my first grandson, granddaughter. Now she's in New Brunswick and I'm here in Nova Scotia, so we have a little bit of a challenge right now. So I can't wait to see her. But anyway, I've been investing in real estate for over 35 years, and my mentorship really began with my father when I was about 22 years old. He helped me buy my first 4-unit apartment building. So when he was alive, he was just one of my biggest fans, and vice versa. So I currently have 11 multi-unit buildings here in Nova Scotia, 4 properties in Florida, and 1 in Montreal. So a little bit about myself. I've volunteered on several local community organizations over the years here in Dartmouth, Halifax, and I'm a member of IPONS. It's Investment Property Owners Association of Nova Scotia. So last year I had the honor of being awarded the Landlord of the Year. So very humbled by that.
Congrats.
And as you know, I've been a member of Private Investment Club for a little over 7 years.
Yes.
I've been attending your events over that period of time, and as you alluded to, I've been a mentee of yours, and I really feel that I've grown personally and professionally from that. I thank you so much for that. This year we reached the designation of becoming your 14th millionaire. So
yes.
I know a lot of people are familiar with your goal to make 100 millionaires.
Yes.
And I have the honor of being the number 14.
Congratulations. And by the way, I just want to say to you, your laptop is shaking. So for the viewer, I know you're a wonderful man, and I want people to see you completely, because there's a little bit of disturbance. Mike, tell us a little bit about how you're handling this coronavirus times.
Well, we're really in, as you know, and all of our viewers know, it's uncharted times. Life as we know it has changed.
Yes.
It's a very serious issue, and we're temporarily lost a lot of our social activities, our recreation, our jobs, our direct employment income, and we have to sort of stick handle through and figure out how we're going to come out the other side of this.
Awesome. So how are you handling it? What are you doing these days?
Well, I feel fortunate that I think we're lucky to have the government that we do. They've been very proactive in quickly adapting to new policies and measures that are going to bring us out of this awful situation. So I mean, we to a certain degree, we're learning as we go. We have to fill the cup, make sure the cup is half full, and look at it in a positive attitude, and know that we're through every challenge, 9/11, different events like that, the recession of 2008. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and we just have to keep remembering to tell ourselves that.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about that, because you're a real estate investor, and how many doors have you invested in since you became a real estate investor, would you say?
I mean, I've bought and sold a few, and currently I have 77 here in Nova Scotia,
77
uh,
doors?
four in Florida, one in Montreal.
So that's 82.
Yes.
Okay, and in your lifetime, how many doors would you say you would have bought and sold?
Uh, there's probably another 30 that I've had acquired and sold in
Awesome.
addition to these.
Okay, awesome. So in regards to real estate, tell us your view as to where are we right now with coronavirus, and what should people do with real estate?
Well, I mean, real estate's a basic need. We will always need food, and we will always need a house or
Yes.
a roof over our head.
Yes.
So I believe as a real estate investor, I have a lot of security in knowing that we as our industry supplies a basic need. Um, you know, it will be tough times for some people to be able to meet their rent,
Yes.
but we have the support of the government and creative portions of our population that will help drive us back on to better days.
Okay. All right. So if I'm a real estate investor right now, and you know, in Halifax, should I buy? Should I hold? What should I do?
I believe the secret is to not panic through any cyclical situation in our economy. Traditionally, there's a portion of the people that panic and they sell, and that's going to drastically affect people's loss of wealth.
Yes.
You know, things will come back. So the main thing is hang on to what you have. Really work with your tenants to be able to keep the income drive coming in the economy and in our businesses to produce back out. And look for opportunities.
Tell me, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by look for opportunities?
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, there's going to be a massive transfer. There is the potential to have a massive transfer of wealth. The people, the populations that panic and sell, they will often find themselves in the position of doing that at a discounted discounted value. And for those real estate investors that take advantage of that, they'll have the opportunity to be able to acquire cash flowing properties at a discount.
Okay, so if I'm a real estate investor who does not have properties or has properties or wants to buy more, what should I do?
If you don't have the experience, align yourself with a mentor or coach, somebody who's done that. Locally, we have meetup groups that
Yes.
People share information. As I say, I'm in Nova Scotia. You're in Toronto, and you're in your particular case, you've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people sort of stick handle through what to do, because you're somebody that has been there before.
Yes.
and knows how the road goes.
Okay, awesome. So if I want to buy properties in Canada, whether it's Halifax, whether it's Toronto, whether it's US, whether it's across Canada, are there certain things that you would look for if you're thinking of buying yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, historically, we want to look at when you're looking at properties, you want it to be in an area that there's positive population, so population growth.
Okay.
Ideally, employment growth.
Yes.
Well, that one might be a tough one to sort of tick off at this point in time, but if you're in an area that there's Fortune 500 companies, that's a good indication. If governments are a significant employer in this particular market, that's a sense of stability. So that's sort of a sign to look for. Look for crime rates. If you can, if you can avoid areas that are heavily crimed, that's going to affect your investment.
Okay. In your area in Halifax, what type of investments have you been buying or investing in?
So over the years, I've bought multi-unit buildings. Most of them have been underperforming. So I've asked myself, what can I do? How do I add value to the property that I'm acquiring?
Give me an example.
So it could be a real estate investor that's tired. He's ready to retire, or hasn't had the focus in keeping things maintained and
So,
in good shape.
what was the last one you bought? Which real estate did you buy last, and how many units?
One of the more recent ones was a 6-unit building.
When was that?
That one was on Pinecrest Drive in Dartmouth.
Okay.
And that was through a foreclosure. So I knew the property because it was in my area. I knew it was going up for foreclosure, and I went to our local auction and was able to acquire that at a significant discounted rate.
What when you were acquiring that property, what was it that made you buy it? Like, what was the added value? Like, what were you looking at?
One of the biggest things is I knew I could get it, like I say, at a discounted rate. So that really gave me an edge in being able to finance it, to be able to make it cash flow, and create some room for it to be able to appreciate.
How important is cash flow in real estate?
As we say, cash is king. So it's important not to buy on speculation. We need to be able to pay for things, and in these times, that's likely even more important than normally.
I see. Okay, and what 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, what impact do you see on economy, businesses, real estate?
This is an interesting question. I sort of looked at this as using the analogy as a transport truck driving down the highway.
Okay.
So the government is driving this truck, and the wheels on the truck are essential services, grocery stores, the food supply chain.
Apparently, LCBO.
Pardon me?
I said apparently even LCBO is supposed to be essential service.
Yes. So the LBO, and in our case here in Nova Scotia, it's the NSLC.
Yeah.
Those would be represented by the wheels on the truck.
Yeah.
And then on the trailer that the truck is pulling, those wheels have gone flat. Those are non-essential industries or businesses. I mean, movie theaters, bars, things that have shut down, and they're going through some tremendous challenges at this point in time. So the driver of this bus, the federal government, is figuring out, how do we get these tires reinflated?
Okay.
Because as real estate investors, we're kind of challenged with a little bit of our air is out of our tires. We're not flat, but we've lost a little bit of air.
Got it.
So we're depending a lot on the government to be able to pump things back into the money to be pumped back into the economy.
Okay.
And keep us back on the road and flying down the highway.
So in your view, in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, what's going to happen? Is the economy going to slow down? Is it going to grow? What are you thinking?
In the short term, we're definitely going to have a large impact of things slowing down.
Okay.
It will gradually come back. But we're all interconnected. You know, the usher and the manager and the candy girl at the movie theaters are our tenants. So how do they pay their rent, you know, from their income? And similarly to the people at Walmart, and like I say, we're all sort of in this together to some degree. So what we do is, how do we help each other get there?
Yes. Okay. So would that be a good time to buy, good time to sell, good time to just do nothing? Which one?
I believe we wait just a short period of time, and the opportunities will present itself for purchasing.
Okay, so if there's somebody who's a real estate investor and is thinking about buying a cash flowing properties, whether it's in Halifax or wherever, would it be a better idea to buy it now, or 3 months, 6 months? What are you thinking? A year?
A lot of times it depends on the opportunity. So if there's a particular investor that is panicking and they're ready to sell, now is the time to do it.
That's right. Awesome. And how are you handling this shutdown and, you know, staying at home and all that kind of? What are you doing these days to keep yourself sane? I understand you are into the 5 a.m. club recently.
Absolutely. So I guess like on the airplane, when the flight attendant says, put the mask on yourself, the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on your child. This is some advice that I gave my daughter. You need to be able to be in a position, in a good place to be able to help others. So to your recommendation, I did start the 5 a.m. club. I'm on day 7.
Congrats.
So from a health perspective, it's a very, very exciting place to be. I've started to, you know, feel energized, breathing air, water, and exercise. Really helps put me in a great place.
It's this book, right?
Absolutely.
It's the Secret to Wealth Volume 2 with Brian Tracy that you're talking about, the air, water, and exercise, and getting up at 5 and doing all those rituals.
Yes, so that's actually, you and I had were each contributed to that.
Yes, you're in this book as well, right? You're a co-author. Yes, and so Mike has already also contributed to this book. It's a co-author book, and if you're looking for this, simply just get hold of Mike or myself to get a copy of this book, or go on Amazon to get your copy. And I might as well, I'll show you another book, which is the first volume. It's called Secret to Wealth. It's the first one. And in this one, I talk about 7 steps to become wealthy. How do you become wealthy?
So while you're taking a sneeze, I'll do a plug for another one of your books.
Yes, thank you.
And I also did co-author in this one as well. So
Secret to Real Estate Wealth.
Yes. And
we talked about in this, and in this, I talked about where should you buy, whether buy in the United States or Canada, and the fundamentals that you look for when you're when the market is the way it is right now. Meaning, is it going up? Is it going down? What are the things you talked about? Jobs, and you talked about government. You talked about the tractor trailer analogy. In this book, we talked about how to analyze basically where to buy. And you also contributed to this book in talking about how to make money in real estate.
Yes, absolutely. You and I are going to be partnering again on another one that's going to be coming out with Robert Allen later this year.
That's right.
We're looking forward to that. There I go, shaking the...
Yes, I was just going to say.
It's hard to keep me wired down, isn't it?
Okay, sounds good. If somebody is thinking about what should I do now, like what should I do while I'm waiting, in regards to life, in regards to business or real estate or real estate, what should they be doing right now?
In regards to life, listen to what the advice is with the social distancing. Take care of yourself. Be in a good, healthy position. Nurture your mind and your body to be able to move forward. And look at affirmations. Where do you want to be? What are your goals? So that's part of the 5 a.m. club, that sort of taking that walk and sort of reflecting on where we want to be, where are we, and be appreciative for what we do have in our lives. Again,
As 5 a.m. club, it's only been 7 days for you. Has it been helping?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of brought a little bit of peace into my life, of peace and clarity. It's a work in progress, like all of our lives are.
Sure.
So we just keep it and keep going and enjoy the journey.
Well, I know I formulated this after Robin Sharma. He has a 5 a.m. club, and so I took his idea of getting up at 5 o'clock, but then I brought in like the stuff that I do, rituals that I do the night before. What do you do with the phone? What do you do with the computer? What kind of stuff you do when you wake up, and things that you do. The acronym AH, the air, water, and exercise, whether that's walk or yoga, whatever. And there are other things that you do. There's approximately, maybe I would say, 100 people that actually gone into the 5 a.m. club, and every one of them, when they gone through it for 66 days and more, every one of them have told me that it's changed their life completely from personal point of view, a health point of view, and business point of view. So I'm glad that you're in it now, and you're doing this, and I can't wait to see you after 66 days as to how you feel totally after that.
Yes, no, it's been a great experience so far. One other thing I'll sort of share, some of the advice that you had given me, was to not sleep with your phone. Plug it into another room, not your bedroom. And for me, that was a very difficult one. When you first said it, I said, "Oh no, that's not going to work for me." I just, I have emergencies. I need to respond. There's going to be floods and water, floods and fires that I'll have to respond to. But I did give it that blind leap of faith, and as a result, what I'm finding is I'm not hearing the 2 a.m. unnecessary telephone calls and text messages. So it's for me, it's given a lot better restful sleep.
Well, as long as, and sleep is very important. A deep sleep is very important.
Absolutely. As a landlord that historically has self-managed my properties, I've sort of been on call, and it's taken its toll on me. And I think sort of recognizing that and managing the expectations has really expectations of others. It's really been helpful so I can be more efficient when I am at work.
Yes, absolutely. And there are a lot of people, by the way, who sleep with their phone with notifications on, not only notification for text and the phone ring, but notification for every social media, every group that they're involved in, and there's LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, and this and that. Like every second they're looking at it. And the first thing I tell people is take off the notification completely. Like no notification, just take it out, especially at night, no questions. But during the daytime, I feel that people need to focus on the task that they're doing, so they can put 100% focus on that. And when you're done with that, then you check your phone if you want to check every half an hour, every 15 minutes, or whatever it is. But it's something that. This is very important these days. It's almost like a double-edged sword, where you need and want that, but also it could really have an impact on your health.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Is there anything else I didn't ask that you wanted to say?
I made myself a couple notes. I think we've covered pretty much.
Awesome.
Everything. Yeah, just to the audience out there, be kind to yourself. Understand that this too will pass.
Yes.
And then when we do get back to normal, enjoy our friends and family. Actually, there is one thing. I see that I predict there's going to be a little bit of a shift in more people working from home.
Yes.
People are realizing that they can do it. And I think we're going to see a few more home offices.
Yes.
So as a result of that, there's a good possibility that people will want larger apartments to be able to have a dedicated room for their home office.
Mm-hmm.
If they, we're seeing that the greenhouse gases and the emissions have lowered. We've kind of sort of started to solve a world problem through this pandemic. So if less people are commuting, should we have another, as I said, pandemic, then we're a little better prepared next time around for our isolation and still yet be productive in our jobs and our careers. So,
Right.
yeah,
And it's not if, it's when we're going to have it again. I mean,
yes.
it's just the way it is. But the interesting part is, from a real estate point of view, when you think about it, when you analyze the residential real estate investment, but think about the office, what you just said is that there might be that companies may not want to be in an office building and rent a 5,000, 2,000 square feet of office where people can just work from home. Yes. And everything can be done, majority of it can be done, and then they only come once in a while into a boardroom, which could be rented by the hours rather than by the monthly, and you sign a lease for 5-year type of deal, which then possibly could have impact on commercial or office buildings because, again, people are no longer going to be using that. So it'd be interesting to see what happens down the road. Whether people are going to be, not every business, obviously we still need businesses where people show up and all that kind of stuff, but there are a lot of businesses where you don't need to be in an office where people don't show up, for example, right? Or you may need an office that is, instead of 2,000 square feet, all the other people can work from their home, and now you only need 500 square feet office, and therefore perhaps people would rent bigger apartments, which is good for people like yourself who buy multi-units, and possibly they can write off some of their home if they check with their accountants and all that, and they don't have to travel, like you said, because and now there's less traffic jams, especially in Toronto. You can see that might have, like right now, I mean, it's amazing the amount of traffic in comparison. It's almost non-existent in comparison. So it's going to have all that impact. And I would say this to a lot of people, in addition to what you said, which is this, that if you're thinking of buying properties in any part of Canada or in the United States, that buy property when you're able to get cash flow. This is, if somebody comes to me right now and says, I have this great property and it's going to produce good cash flow, I'm open to it right now. And chances are in the next few months, the property, you might be able to get a better price because people are not bidding anymore. They're not out there trying to hunt for it. And even if they come back, they're not going to, they may not be able to start buying the properties right away because they lost their jobs, they don't have cash flow, and it's hard to get, mortgage, even though government's helping, you don't have the money to put down or to pay the mortgage. So this might create some opportunities for real estate investors, which is going to be awesome, for not only for the investor who's buying it below market value, but also for the entire economy. Because you don't want empty properties. You want properties to be bought, fixed, and if somebody like you gets in, they improve the property, and then you provide the needed services. And what we need is, one of the things we need is shelter. So it's important that we get that from that point of view. I mean, this is what we do as at Private Investment Club is basically analyze what should we be doing next. And you and I had talked about this in the past, that almost every time that something happens like this, there's either a dip, A dip is either a V-shaped dip, it falls and go back up, or a U-shaped dip. A U-shaped dip just falls on and stays around and goes back up. And so we know it's going to be a dip. We just don't know whether it's going to be V or U-shaped. We don't know that yet. But either way, if you are in a position to get funding, to get line of credits, to get business loan, to get mortgages, to align yourself where you get refinance your home, I would suggest you do that now. Why? Because when the opportunities come, a lot of people won't have access to funding, and you will have access to funding already, and therefore you're going to be able to go in and get the property faster than the people who don't have it. So that's one of the tips that I would give before we finish off today, is to actually get as much funding as possible. And this is coming from when I was talking to Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He basically said that all he's doing right now is securing line of credits all over the world in millions of dollars. Because when the market crashes in his way, or comes down or slows down, we don't know. Nobody knows whether it's going to slow down, whether it's going to be long term, whether it's short term. Like I said, whether it's going to be a V shape or whether it's going to be a U shape. Just like 2008 was like a U shape. It took a long time to come back up, and sometimes it's just basically bounces right back up. So either case, whether it's V shape or U shape, if you can get line of credits, and if you can go back to the bank and get some extra funding, or where it doesn't cost you any money if you don't buy it, especially like line of credit, my suggestion is you do that right now. You do that right now, because then that will put you into the small percentage of people who can just walk into a property when nobody else is buying, and you say, I'm ready to buy, and I'll take it right now, whether it's foreclosure, whether it's from all that stuff. You do that now, and all of a sudden you become the person who thinks, well, how did you know? How did you know that you're supposed to get line of credits in advance? Get all the money, refinance your house. If you're a real estate investor, of course, you check with your mentor and your advisor to make sure that you know what you're doing. And if you're a member of Private Investment Club, you can send us an email, and I can give you my feedback in regards to what you can do. Of course, everything has a risk. But if you have a property that has equity and you're able to draw out that equity or get a secure line of credit now would be the time to do it. Not 3 months ago when everybody was bidding, there was a bidding war and everybody's buying at the highest level. Now is the time to buy when people can't go anywhere. They can't buy anything, right? So this is the time to do it. And I would say to you is that if you are in the Halifax area, make sure you contact Mike. Mike is an amazing guy. He's been doing it for how many years now, Mike?
Over 35 years.
Over 35. He's got over 35 years. He's got a wealth of experience and knowledge. Somebody who's doing it right now. He's got properties right now. He's got, I forgot what he said, 82 properties right now, 82 doors right now. And he's a guy who is not just a teacher, not only he's a coach and a speaker and an author, he shares stages with Brian Tracy. Who else did you share stage with?
Sunil Tulsiani.
Yes, of course. And you've written a book with Brian Tracy, and you're writing one with Robert Allen again. Yes. And so he knows what he's talking about. How do they get hold of you?
So I can be reached at Basin, and it's just short for apartment. So Basin, BASINAPTS @gmail.com. So BasinApps, BASINAPTS @gmail.com.
Sounds good. And everybody, as you know, that our goal is to make 100 millionaires as a private investment club. If you're a real estate investor, part-time, full-time, passive, you're looking for property below market value, you want to know how to do it, check out privateinvestmentclub.com, privateinvestmentclub.com. And if you ever wanted to become a best-selling author, you want to write a book, and this is the best time to do that. You're staying at home, you want to become a best-selling author with legends, get hold of us, privateinvestmentclub.com. Email at info@privateinvestmentclub.com. And before I go, I'm going to give you a gift. The gift is there's an audiobook with my good friend Brian Tracy, and it's called Make a Million. Make a Million. And Brian and I have both have the same goal, which is to make 100 millionaires. So go to makeamillion.net, makeamillion.net, and you can grab an audiobook from there. And it's absolutely free as a gift from me. And it's the best time for you to listen to audiobooks. If your goal is to become wealthy, this would be an amazing thing. Once again, Secret to Wealth Part 2. If you you can get hold of us, get hold of Mike if you're looking for copy, or go on to Amazon.ca or .com, depending on where you are, and get your copy as well. Mike, thank you very much for being with us, and thank you. You're amazing. I respect and love and really, really care for you. You're an amazing friend, and you've been with us for 7 years. You fly most of the times to come to Private Investment Club to Toronto. You were coming to the Canadian Wealth Summit, where we had to postpone it, of course, with Kevin Hart, Kevin Harrington, Grant Cardone, myself, and some of the amazing people. You and Shobha come all the time. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sunil. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate being able to, sort of help share some of your help and vision to some of your viewers. I thank you for all of the personal and business growth that you've helped me achieve in, my business and personal life. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and you're not done yet. You're on your way.
Oh no, of course not.
No, I mean on your growth. On your growth, you're not done yet. There's a lot more to come, and I look forward to seeing you very shortly, as soon as this is over.
I do as well.
All right, take care. All the best to you.
You too. Stay safe.
Goodbye.
Thank you.